When Donald Trump really endorses someone, he goes big. You've seen none of that for Lion Matt Gaetz. What does Trump know? Is Gaetz the informant? Gaetz hired Jeffrey Epstein's attorney. Another Epstein attorney approved the raid on Trump's house. Remember, Gaetz pressured Trump to give him a pardon, but Trump said no. Matt Gaetz puts himself first, ahead of Trump and ahead of you. Vote for a leader who will put America first. Vote for Marine Mark Lombardo.
I'm Mark Lombardo. I approve this message.
When Donald Trump really endorsed.
Devastating. It could have been worse. I would have gone with, I'm Mark Lombardo. I'm not, under investigation for child trafficking. But his way is, send a Marine is a good tagline too, I guess.
Right. I mean, usually I'd want a little bit about the other candidate. I'd like to hear a little bit about Mark Lombardo, what he stands for. But clearly he stands for wrecking Matt Gaetz. I mean, damn, that was
Lion Matt Gaetz.
I mean, it's weird that Trump hired Alex Acosta, the guy who let Epstein off with like a very easy deal, is my understanding, that you could basically like waltz out of prison, have like field trips and stuff like that. Trump hired him as labor secretary, so I don't understand this way that Trump's on top of being like in pictures with Jeffrey Epstein, like checking out women or videos, right? Like we've all seen those clips of like them in some fancy ballroom pointing at people. It's bizarre how they've sort of tried to be the anti-Epstein folks, when of course, like, no, this is their class of people. And Matt Gaetz, as a political part of a descendant of a political dynasty, like, of course he's sus about it.
Oh yeah. Right. I mean, you can't, claim to be principled standing against the things that Matt Gaetz stands for, but also be referencing Trump like, you look up to him, because like Trump is, anything Matt Gaetz has done, Trump has definitely probably also done, and worse, obviously. So obviously, Republicans are sycophants. Trump is still an easy way to get a lot of votes, to excite the base, to raise money. And so a lot of these races just boil down to like which one Trump has given the thumbs up to, which one Trump has given the thumbs down to. If his name was Matt too, they could have just hashed it out that way. But obviously, in this case, Trump might have to choose. But he's probably hoping that Matt Gaetz, Vice President or Vice President Pence's guy, said that Matt Gaetz doesn't make it to the election, or at least doesn't spend the entire time in office.
I mean, that would be quite a way to. I mean, if you're in Matt Gaetz's district, like, I'm surprised there's not a whole field of people running against Matt Gaetz, because if that's the play there, I mean, and the odds seem like they're not nil that could happen. I mean, you have an open seat right there, and this guy. What's his name again? Lombardo?
Mark Lombardo.
Mark Lombardo. He's going to be front and center, ready to take over for Matt Gaetz, or at least challenge whoever the Republicans put forward.
It's a good play. Be there when the hammer comes down. If it comes down, it might not. Our laws aren't actively enforced, equally across populations for various reasons. But, you can be there when like the FBI, like frog marches Matt Gaetz out.
Yeah,
I look for Vince Lombardo or whatever.
Right. I mean, listen, I don't know what's going to happen to Matt Gaetz, but I certainly think that something, the thing people imagine happening to Trump. Well, you know what? This would have worked better before the FBI stuff. I was going to say the thing that people imagine happening to Trump, him walking out in cuffs, it's actually much more likely to happen in this scenario. But now I don't know anymore. Who knows? But Gaetz is, I don't know what's taken so long to look into this Gaetz stuff, but I look forward to whatever happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are still making deals. I think I read recently that his lawyer or his the tax county, the guy who was basically colluding with him, like recently is signing a deal. So it could just be, collecting that information.
There's some weird stuff in that case about people's people being told to like send their expired licenses certain places, and then those licenses being possibly used in like a fake license creation scheme, like some really like crime. I guess is what I'm.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Taken. That sounds like human trafficking.
I mean, it sounds certainly worrying. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, unless they're just trying to make fake IDs for college students to buy beer with.
A lot of money in that.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in that. And I guess we can't. I wouldn't say it's the world's worst way to make money, but certainly it raises some alarms.